Hello and welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. Here we have James with Dredge at home playing against Jason on Dead Guy Ale. Those sound like old-timey deck names to you. That's because this is pre-modern. That's right, Dead Guy Ale, absolutely a contender in this format. And Dredge at Home is a list actually very similar to something that I played way back in the day. Really like some of the card choices here. Zombie Infestation coming down. And Gerard's Verdict, not super exciting, as we've already seen a Squee that was originally discarded to Careful Study, already returned from the hand. So this Gerard's Verdict essentially just getting one card out of James's hand, kind of setting him back a zombie. Potentially would have made a 2-2 end of turn anyways. Another Squee comes out. I'm sorry, another Careful Study comes out. Squee continuing to earn his position in the deck. Zombie Infestation, the namesake of this deck, very often just called Zombie Infestation. Of course, Dredge at Home referencing the fact that this is much, much worse, so to speak, than the later iterations of this type of archetype, as this predates the actual Dredge mechanic. Zombie Infestation and creatures from the graveyard are going to be how you generate advantage. And a old school disenchant actually taking out Zombie Infestation without any zombies being made. So James could have put some more of a board presence there by sacrificing cards from hand, choosing not to. Get this Ashen Ghoul. And now Breakthrough for 2, so he's going to be able to keep 2 cards. He's going to really dump a lot into the graveyard here. This is a heck of an addition to this type of list. I wish I had access to the list I had played. I don't even remember if it was Vintage or Legacy. It must have been Legacy because it didn't have full power. Oh, maybe I played around with it in Vintage too. I'm not sure. But Zombie Infestation, Ashen Ghoul, Ichorid, Nether Shadow. Really fun to see these cards. Got a soft spot for all of them. Nether Shadow coming back. Of course, Graveyard Order does matter in this format, thanks to cards like Nether Shadow and Ashen Ghoul. You can tinker with your Graveyard Order with Psychatog and Ichorid. In this list, they exile cards out of the graveyard, really setting up more productive turns down the line. But right now, James got a clock facing down a face-down creature. And he is resolving a Buried Alive. Now, we can guess that this face-down creature is going to be Exalted Angel. That is really what Dead Guy Ale is known for. A good, solid control card, nullifying opposing attackers while also putting a serious clock on your opponent. Ichorids loading up in the graveyard. We see Wasteland actually not good here against James's very resilient mana base, but it does help morph that Exalted Angel, who's not going to be at home for when these Ichorids come knocking. That lifelink would have potentially been a 7-point swing, but Jason deciding he's got to turn sideways, hoping that somehow he can connect 5 times before James. I feel like it had to stay home. It is tough, though, with Ichorid. It just feels like waves crashing on the rocks, just coming back every turn repeatedly. But it would be more of a 7-point life swing, blocking 3, gaining 4. It's not like James has a sack outlet to sacrifice the creature. That is something you've got to look out for. Zombie Infestation. Yeah, this is a lot of damage coming back. I don't even know. Hypnotic Spectre, a 3-mana 2/2 blocker. Not super exciting here. More zombie tokens. Ichorid's coming back. Oh, Krovikan Horror. That gets a Swords to Plowshares. Now, yeah, this would allow just all sorts of damage. Instead, we're going to have some blocks, and it'll still be lethal. The Swords to Plowshares did take out the Horror, but, I mean, that board was just completely out of control. Overwhelming the Exalted Angel. I do think it should have stayed home. Let me know what you think in the comments. I feel like that's kind of a question of who's the beatdown there. I think with the Exalted Angel, if he's not attacking you, you're totally fine. Like, that is not a problem if he declines to attack. But staying home, you'd gain the 4 life and potentially soak up another 3 that would have hit your face. Let me know what you think about that one. Going into game 2. We have not made a video in a while. It's great to be back. You can help us out by tapping that like and subscribe. Ring the bell. Help get back out into the algorithm. Spread the love for Eternal formats, especially Premodern. It's been doing fantastic for us. Wow, what an explosive start. Turn 1, Phyrexian Arena, and a Tormod's Crypt off of Dark Ritual. That is a scary opening for Jason. And ritualing out an Exalted Angel. Games with the Zombie Infestation versus what looks like just a single card hand. But it'll reload thanks to the arena. Outdrawing James 2-1. He uses the Tormod's Crypt to stop the Zombie Infestation from going wild with Squee. Now breakthrough for 2. Tormod's Crypt. Not as good as Withered Wretch in this deck. Would have been nice to just kill that Squee permanently and also have a body around to do it again in the future while applying pressure, but it's very fast. It does prevent some of the more ridiculous blowout hands that can happen with an early breakthrough. Breakthrough could potentially stack up quite a lot of damage. Wasteland does take out the Underground River. Rapidly reloading thanks to this arena. Still just black mana. I believe Exalted Angel needs 2 white mana to flip. Ways away from that. Oh no, Cabal Pit. That could be a problem. I believe he has Threshold at this time. He may be able to go ahead and get Threshold in response. And he does. Oof. That is rough. So the board trading all over the place. Zombie token trading off. Cabal Pit. Still in a 4/5. That's not bad. That would have eventually flipped as soon as Jason gets some white mana. Another Tormod's Crypt, and this time Circular Logic actually stopping it. And Withered Wretch. So Circular Logic there to stop the Tormods. However, the better graveyard card does hit in the form of Withered Wretch. Image comes across the bow. He starts chipping away at this graveyard. The zombie token has been slain. Not actually sure what card it was. Might have been Smother. That looks like it might be a reprint of Smother. Down to 8. Not a lot of life here for Jason. Kind of hilarious that he hasn't drawn a white source at all yet. Just swamps. Got a duress. Swing and a miss. Makes a zombie in response. I mean, at some point he may need to be a little bit concerned about his own Phyrexian arena. This is not a May effect. Actually trading here. Wow. And Skeletal Scrying for 1. Interesting. Let me know how you would have played that. I'm more inclined to take the 2 there and use a Skeletal Scrying to dig. You are going to need to blow up your own arena, however. You're not going to have a ton of time left. Engineered Plague. I mean, that's going to potentially help make the zombies smaller, but I mean, you're only at 4 life, so Plague not the most exciting card could have had there. There might be Ichorid in the graveyard. Can't see. Plague could be good against that. It is a horror, not a zombie. And apparently there was 1 in hand. So this will be lethal if not blocked. Wow. Oh, and caves. Oh, that's the worst white source here. He vindicates his own Phyrexian arena as a face down. Exalted Angel can't turn it back face up yet. Only 1 white mana. Makes a 2/2, which may just be a 1/1. Thanks to the Plague. I mean, it has to be naming zombie. Engineered Plague. So he goes down to 1, gains 2. Should he be at 3? Oh, there's a Vindicate for the Tog. That was actually going pretty fast. Let me know if the life total was correct there in the end. I believe he would have went down to 1 and then gained 2, going to 3. Could be wrong. Then he maybe was also getting hit by a token. Anyways, that is it. A Phyrexian Arena not able to help him draw his second white source in a heartbreaking loss.